Greetings. My name is Fortune Gazana, and I'm excited to be here and to share with you Resolving Family Conflicts Part 2. The first part we were taken through it by Dr. Marwisa, and we are College of Marriage and Parenting and Family Affairs. Very excited indeed to be with you. Our vision is to be a center of excellence for learning family-related matters. And then we also have a mission that we would like to accomplish, and that's to equip people with knowledge, skills, and tools that help them enjoy family life. After all, we are born into families, we spend our lives in families, and we live out our days in those same families. So family is a very integral part of our lives and very important indeed. And so our desire is to reach and to enrich family relationships. That's our desire. So a quick recap from last week. We looked at understanding conflict in its entirety, the causes of conflict, which were many, and the types of conflict. We looked at one-sided. We also looked at two-sided conflict. And so today we want to expand a little bit on how to resolve conflict, because all said and done, we still need to live together in harmony and to grow deeper in our relationships by resolving the conflict. And how are we going to do that is the question. So my share with you today is twofold. I have, on one hand, resolving conflicts, and on the other hand, I have how are we going to set the ground rules as far as the resolving of conflict is concerned, because you do need ground rules so that your process of resolving the conflict is effective. Great. So without much further ado, let me take you through the process, and it's a six-stage process, beginning with number one. We look at what we call climbing down. Now, basically, climbing down speaks to issues of both parties who are in the conflict saying to themselves, guess what, sweetheart, I'm sorry, I wronged you, and the other one also extending forgiveness. And saying sorry and forgiving each other is the foundation of resolving conflict, because it's very difficult to make conversation and to begin to communicate effectively with one another if there is resentment, there's anger, there's bitterness, and all these things that are in the way. So first and foremost, we deal with climbing down. And then we go to the next stage, stage 2, which is talking about stating the problem. What do we mean by that? With any conflictual situation, there is a problem, but we need to communicate that to the partner and say, look, this is how I am seeing the problem. And so we use I statements, and you're looking at issues of the issue as I see it. And husband would say to the wife, look, my wife, I feel this is the issue. Yes? And then the issue as your spouse sees it. Now the wife will then echo back to the husband, so you are saying to me that this is what is happening. Very important, because sometimes, remember, we have one-sided and two-sided conflicts. At times the other person is not seeing what's happening clearly. And so from there we look at clarifying the issue. Okay, having expressed yourself and saying to your partner, look, the problem is I see it, we then clarify the issue. What is the core of the conflict is what we are trying to determine here. Very, very important indeed. From then on, we are looking at what are the possible solutions given the issue that we have both put before the table. It's important that at this stage, both partners are involved in possible solutions. You're just brainstorming together as a couple and saying, okay, because we're a team and the issue is the problem, not ourselves, what are the possible solutions to the issue that is bringing conflict between us? And so you would then list down all that you're coming up with, the both of you, as comprehensive as you can. And having done that, you then take that possible solutions list and then you begin to interrogate it and explore the good and the bad side of each possible solution that you have come up with. Very important to evaluate each and everything that you have put forward as a solution. Thereafter, what will happen is that you're going to take an agreed position or an agreed compromise solution from having evaluated the proffered solutions by the both of you. That is also important because you are saying we cannot carry out all these things that we have said we are going to be our solutions. And so we've chosen the best out of the list that we put forward. Having said that, you then look at how do we actually implement this solution or these solutions to the conflict that we are experiencing. And then here we're looking at, all right, let's take who would do what and when and how will they do it, what does it actually look like in reality, and try and bring out a concrete position to the problem that you are looking at. So implementing the plan really is all about putting the nuts and bolts into actioning, or how we will action the solutions that we have both come up with and resolve the conflict that way. So this has been seen to work. I've tried it out myself, but it requires discipline. It doesn't come that easy because it's all about what is best for our relationship. And so I'd like to take you through the last item, which is communication and the ground rules to do with conflict resolution. Here we have several things. There are many, but I'll just share with you some, perhaps that you could start with and that could help you out. It's very important to be having both of you at the same time, but at the right time. What am I saying with that? Right timing. Right timing is all about when you are not tired, you are not stressed, you are not preoccupied with other things. There are no distractions basically at that time. And we use the acronym of HATS for right timing, which is you're not hungry, you're not angry, you're not tired, you're not stressed. An easy one to remember, yeah? So when you are taking up the issues that you want to resolve, make sure that the timing is also right. The other thing that you want to be doing as a ground rule is to implement what we call active listening, which is listening with respect, with empathy, with warmth. You don't want to be coming off to your partner as somebody who is just doing this, but actually somebody who wants to be doing this. Yeah. Share on a deep level, very important. Don't be superficial in your sharing, but share on a deep level. No interruptions except for clarification, very important. Yeah, and we usually use the pen Amazing what a pen can do to achieve this. So the person who is speaking is the one who holds the pen. And what's done, they then pass it on to the person who's speaking next. Very effective. Very effective. It's amazing what you can achieve with this little guy here. Then you want to give each other equal time for sharing, because sometimes one partner gets to dominate in the conversation more than the other. Very important that you give each other equal time. There is no stomping out of the meeting in anger. No, we have agreed to meet, so let's meet and let's calm down. No stomping out. The other thing that you don't want is to withdraw in silence, because sometimes the person then feels, guess what? I'm just going to keep quiet because I'm never heard anyway. That's not the attitude that we want. The other thing is you are using I and not you statements, because you is it's almost like an attacking mode. Yeah, you don't want to be feeling like you are attacking the next person. So remember, I and not you statements, very helpful. The other thing that you want to do is no global statements. You always do this, or you never do that. No, that's not helpful. You also want to look at no quick advice. Just listen. It's important to listen to what the person is saying. No jumping to conclusions is very important. No quick judgments. No judging motives. Because we do. Sometimes when you've lived with somebody, you're always suspicious of, I've seen this before. I don't trust where this is going. We don't want to judge people's motives, and be quick to forgive. This is very important, because, like I said, it's important to look at the issue as the issue and not each other as the issue. Okay, I'll explain that a little bit. Your problem is with an issue that's arising and not with your partner. Yes, they are part and parcel or muddled up in all that, but because you are valuing the relationship, you want to deal with the issue. And so always remember that it's good practice, and it's good for the relationship to be quick to forgive. Excellent. So that's what I have for you today. The process that I described, and also the ground rules to fulfill that. So perhaps you could try what I've said, see how that goes. You could start perhaps with 2 sessions per week, a total of 90 minutes to go through whatever issue that you're grappling with. Also, you want to look at the agenda, set an agenda, and look at the agenda before you actually go into a conflict meeting with your partner. Then you also want to remind yourself of the ground rules so that everyone is clear on how they're going to conduct themselves during that conflict resolution meeting as the two of you. So yeah, this is College of Marriage again, Fortune here, and I hope this has been helpful. We'll see each other next time. Have a wonderful week, and cheers to your conflict resolution.